before Jeff Bezos, before Elon Musk, before the banks, the billionaires, and the boardrooms here was a black king from West Africa, whose name still echoes through the halls of power. Mansa Musa, not a rapper, not a CEO, but the richest human being in recorded history, and the most humble conqueror you've probably never heard enough about. This ain't just a history lesson, this is a blueprint, because you, yes you, can activate your Mansa Musa mode and step into your own royal legacy. Let's get into it. The rise of a king. Mansa Musa was born in 1280, during a time when Africa wasn't a footnote, it was the note. The Mali Empire wasn't a scattered collection of tribes, it was a well-governed superpower, stretching across modern-day Senegal, Gambia, Guinea, Mali, Niger, Nigeria, Chad, and Mauritania. Its cities bustled with scholars and traders. Its rivers carried not only goods, but knowledge, language, and innovation. Mali controlled nearly half the world's gold supply, and its reputation had already begun to reach the ears of Europe and the Middle East. Musa ascended the throne around 1312, under extraordinary circumstances. His predecessor, Abu Bakr II, had launched a massive expedition across the Atlantic, chasing the unknown, and never returned. In his place rose a man of purpose, a king not chosen by war, but by trust, intellect, and faith. And though Mali was already rich, Mansa Musa turned wealth into legacy. He expanded the empire by adding 24 thriving cities, including the now legendary Timbuktu, soon to become the brain of Africa. But he wasn't obsessed with bloodshed. He was obsessed with blueprints. He ordered the construction of roads, mosques, libraries, and learning centers. He transformed commerce into culture, and culture into capital. Where others saw conquest, Musa saw construction. Where others looted, Musa lifted. Rule with vision, not just victory. The $400 billion journey. In 1324, Mansa Musa made a move so profound, it shook the foundation of the global economy. He embarked on the Hajj to Mecca, a sacred Islamic pilgrimage. But what unfolded was more than spiritual. It was a geopolitical masterclass in wealth, power, and influence. A caravan of 60,000 people, merchants, soldiers, servants, and griots, snaking through the Sahara in perfect formation. 12,000 slaves, each dressed in embroidered Persian silk and carrying staffs of solid gold. 80 camels, each burdened with over 300 pounds of pure gold dust and ingots, enough to fund a modern nation's budget. They passed through cities like Gao, Walata, and Tagaza, distributing gold, goods, and blessings. But it was in Cairo, Egypt, where the impact turned seismic. Mansa Musa gave away so much gold, to the poor, to officials, to merchants, that the value of gold plummeted. The ripple effects caused a decade-long economic crash, with Egypt's market struggling to recover from the sudden inflation. To this day, no individual in history, not Rockefeller, not Bezos, has ever disrupted a nation's currency with mere generosity. But don't get it twisted. This wasn't a flex. This was intentional diplomacy. Mansa Musa was making a statement. Mali was not just rich, it was righteous, refined, and ready to lead. He funded mosques across the route, donated to Islamic schools, supported scholars and artists, and his presence sparked rumors so grand that European cartographers began placing Mali and Musa on medieval maps, sometimes depicted holding a golden orb and scepter. He rewrote Africa's place in the global imagination, not as a shadowed land of the unknown, but as a beacon of civilization. Move with purpose so big it echoes beyond your lifetime. The legacy blueprint. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage didn't just shift economies, it shifted civilizations. When he returned to Mali, he didn't rest on wealth. He turned his focus to the mind. He transformed Timbuktu into one of the world's most respected centers of learning, a city that became synonymous with wisdom. He built the legendary Sankore University, eventually home to over 700,000 manuscripts on theology, astronomy, medicine, law, mathematics, and philosophy. This library rivaled Alexandria and Baghdad in scope and sophistication. But Musa didn't just build, he curated brilliance. He imported architects and scholars from Andalusia, Cairo, and Arabia, blending African, Arab, and Berber influences into a cultural renaissance. Among them was Abu Ishaq al-Sahili, the Andalusian polymath who designed the iconic Jingareber Mosque, a masterpiece that still stands today. But architecture was only the beginning. He created a magnet for minds, gathering Islamic jurists, African philosophers, poets, astronomers, and mathematicians. Mali became a place where ideas moved faster than caravans, and where law, cosmology, and governance echoed through lecture halls. This was the 1300s, and Timbuktu was already glowing. centuries before the European Renaissance. And here's the kicker. Mansa Musa didn't gatekeep knowledge. He democratized it. He made education desirable. Young princes studied law. Merchants mastered accounting. Children memorized poetry and oral histories. He built systems where intellect was honored, where knowledge was the currency of kings. He turned culture into capital. He turned learning into power. Mansa Musa proved black excellence isn't new, it's ancient. And it wasn't born from struggle. It was born from strategy, vision, and investment. Build institutions that outlive you. Teach the next kings and queens how you can turn on Mansa Musa mode. So here's the real question. How do you, living in the age of algorithms and artificial intelligence, turn on your Mansa Musa mode? Because let's be real, the world doesn't need more scrollers, followers, or trend chasers. It needs builders, people who create, people who lead, people who see beyond the now and invest in a future that honors the past. Mansa Musa didn't just inherit wealth, he multiplied it, elevated it, and used it to build something that outlasted him. And so can you. Your phone is your camel. Your content is your gold. Your mind? That's your empire. Let me break it down. 1. Master your mind. Mansa Musa was more than a king. He was a scholar. He studied Islamic law, economics, diplomacy, and geography. Long before Google, he knew knowledge was the foundation of empires. Today, your mind is still your greatest asset. Read daily, journal your thoughts, study wealth, power, and leadership. Don't scroll aimlessly. Scroll with intention. Replace distraction with direction. Feed your focus like a king preparing for war. Rule yourself before you rule anything else. 2. Create your own economy. Mansa Musa inherited wealth, but he didn't stop there. He expanded trade, built cities, and opened routes across borders. He created more. Today that means ownership. Start a business, monetize skills, learn digital trades, sell something, own platforms. Don't wait for a paycheck. Build your own payroll. Set up income streams like Musa set up trade routes. Think beyond survival. Think succession. Turn your hustle into a dynasty. 3rd, build Digital Timbuktus. Timbuktu wasn't just a city, it was a symbol. A global hub of learning and commerce. People traveled months to reach it. Today, your phone is your Timbuktu. Start a podcast. Share your knowledge. Post content that uplifts. Create a YouTube, newsletter, or brand that educates and empowers. Use your platform not just to speak, but to build. Build a digital empire that helps others do the same. Educate through creation. Multiply your legacy. 4. Move with noble flex. Mansa Musa didn't flex to show off. He flexed to elevate. He gave gold generously, but always with purpose. Today, move with the same nobility. Be intentional with your impact. Give knowledge. Mentor others. Donate with strategy. Let your presence speak power. Let silence signal success. Don't just bring energy, bring elevation. Raise the frequency wherever you go. Be rich in purpose, not just pockets. 5. Stay grounded in gold. Gold was Musa's currency, but not his identity. He was grounded in faith, tradition, and respect for culture. Today, in a world chasing trends, stand on values. Honor your ancestors. Move with humility and pride. Protect your name like a royal seal. Every action adds jewels to your crown, or takes them. Walk like a king. Build like your legacy depends on it. Let legacy be your loudest flex. Mansa Musa mode is not about stunting. It's about systemic elevation. For you, your family, your people. It's about building a legacy so big, your great-great-grandkids study your moves like a blueprint. You come from gold. You come from greatness. Your ancestors didn't just survive, they built empires, kingdoms, universities, trade routes. Now it's your turn. Turn on your Mansa Musa mode. Educate, elevate, empower. Because royalty isn't in your past, it's in your potential. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Mansa Musa Mode YouTube channel if you're ready to reign in your own right. And share this with another king or queen who needs to remember where they come from. This ain't just history, it's a destiny waiting to be activated.